Hi, Omega Khaos here again, and with another online deck profile. At this time, I am finally showing my Rank-Up Raidraptor deck, which of course is one of my favorite decks currently, and it's definitely pretty nice. I think it has a lot of potential to do well. So let's go at this deck. So first the monsters are 3 Raidraptor Tribute Lanius. A very essential card for this deck. It's basically Armageddon Knight. Pretty much almost all of the Raidraptor monsters activate. You can activate their effects when they are special or normal summoned that turn, and then you can activate it as an ignition effect. So this is basically Armageddon Knight of the deck. So you can just send any Raidraptor card from a deck to the graveyard, especially like your Mimic Lanius or anything else you need in the graveyard. And second effect is that you can search for a rank magic quick play when you destroy a monster of a battle, and then you can activate this effect in main phase 2. So it's definitely a really nice card. It also has 1800 attack, so the highest attack main deck Raidraptor monster. Unfortunately, it's a V-Jump promo in Japan, so we have no idea when this card actually comes out in the future. Hopefully soon enough, because this card is definitely very important for this deck. Then 2 Raidraptor Impale Lanius. With this card you can just change the battle position of one monster to defense, and in main phase 2, if you attack with this card, you can revive a Raidraptor from a graveyard, so basically like a slow Wolfbark type card. But I only run 2 of this card because it's not really as necessary at 3, because it can become a little bit too cloaky at 3, I think, and it's very easily searchable and recyclable, of course. Then 3 Raidraptor Vanishing Lanius, the first Raidraptor monster. It has very simple effect. During the main phase, if this card was normal spell summon at this turn, you can just spell summon a 1 level 4 lower Raidraptor monster from your hand. So just to go for a quick exist play. So then 3 Raidraptor Mimic Lanius. This card allows you to increase the levels of all Raidraptor monsters by 1, so they all become level 5. And during your main phase, if this card was sent to graveyard that turn, you can banish it to search for any Raidraptor card. So that's very nice. Most of course you use that second effect just for to search at any Raidraptor card, for example like your Raidraptor Nest, which is Black Whirlwind, or Raidraptor Readiness, which is kind of like a Waboko. Then Raidraptor Fuzzy Lanius. This card comes out in a Clash of Rebellion, so we have to wait for this card for some time. So if you control a Raidraptor monster other than Fuzzy Lanius, you can spell summon this card from your hand, and if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can search for another copy of itself. But if you activate any of Fuzzy Lanius's effects, you can only spell summon Raidraptors that turn, so that's kind of restriction. But this card is definitely very good. Another card that helps you make exist plays and makes summoning out Ice Falcon a lot easier, like I explained in my card discussion of this card. So that's it for the main deck Raidraptor monsters. Then the last monsters I run are 3 Heroic Challenger Assault Halberd. It's a very nice card because it has a first effect Cyber Dragon ability. It also can inflict piercing damage, and if you inflict battle damage with this card, you can search for any heroic card from a deck to your hand. In this deck, you of course search for another copy of itself. So of course it helps you make exist plays, because there aren't really like that many Raidraptor monsters. Before we only had like 1 Raidraptor monster, then we got 2 in Crossed Souls, then we got 1 in Japan as a V-Jump promo, and then Fuzzy in Clash of Rebellions. We probably will get some more monsters in the future. But for right now, I think Hurricane Assault Halberd is a pretty good addition to this deck. But when we get more Raidraptor, we'll definitely probably have to take it out to make some room for those cards. Then the spells, of course, it's a rank-up version of the deck, and Raidraptors have their own specific rank magics for them. So first is of course rank magic Revolution Force. First, it has two effects. One you can activate in your turn, and one in your opponent's turn. So first effect is just a regular rank up effect. You target Raidraptor Exis monster and just rank it up to another Raidraptor Exis monster that has one rank higher. So yeah, and in your opponent's turn you target one of your opponent's Exis monsters that has no Exis materials. Take control of it and rank it up to a Raidraptor Exis monster that is one rank higher. So yeah, definitely a very powerful card. Can be very clutch in some situations, especially against Castle, 1-1 and Dark Rebellion. And then Rank Magic Raptor's Force, which is also pretty good rank magic when a Raidraptor Exis monster or multiple monsters are destroyed and sent to graveyard. Plus one of Raidraptor Exis monsters from a graveyard and then rank it up. So very nice card, I think. But too bad it has to be destroyed. So yeah, and destruction is kinda used more nowadays, but still it's a little bit situational, I guess. And of course they are searchable with Tribute Linus as well. Then Rank Magic Quick Chaos. Another, I think it's pretty good, just to rank up into your Chaos Mara 1-on-1. And of course it's searchable as well with Tribute Linus, because it's a quick play spell, that's why I actually run it. And finally the last rank magic Astra Force, to go directly from Force Strix to Revolution Falcon basically. And you are just sent to the graveyard with Local Chain when you need it. Then 2 Raidraptor Nest. It's basically like a black whirlwind. If you control 2 or more Raidraptors, you can search for a Raidraptor monster from a deck or get it back from the graveyard. So it's a very nice card. It definitely helps to maintain a card advantage, but of course this deck does that very well already, even without this card. But this card also helps, of course, get your Raidraptor monsters back to your hand from the graveyard, because you can sometimes run out of monsters in the mid game and definitely late game. Then Mystical Space Typhoon, just for back removal, and Raigeki. Now traps, pretty heavy trap lineup. Raidraptors are more of a control deck. They can't really function as well without back row, although you can do it. But definitely back row can help you to protect your setup and plays. First 2 Raidraptor Arenas, a pretty good card because you can easily search it and send it to the graveyard with Tribute Linus, because it has 2 effects. One works when you activate it on the field, and it says that this turn Raidraptor monster you control cannot be destroyed by battle. In your graveyard, you can just banish it if you have Raidraptor monster in your graveyard, and then you take no damage that turn. So you can pretty much save you twice. So it's definitely very good for stopping all the case and all that against faster decks. And then you can just counter the spells one spam with your monsters like Rise Falcon and Blaze Falcon. Then 1 Raptor's Ghost, which allows you to negate any spell or trap when you control a Raidraptor card. So it's a pretty good card, but I only run it at 1 because it's not really as great as a first thought, because the main aspect of this current game is actually monster effects and hot spells and traps. It doesn't really help against the current meta as well. Even of course you can use it against Necros, but then they can just search for another ritual spell, so which is kinda unfortunate. Then 1 Crush Card Virus, because of course it's a dark deck. Main deck target is fuzzy liners, but you also have a targets in the extra deck like 4 sticks, so it's definitely almost always live. But I'm not sure if I will keep it in, because it's not good against every deck, of course. Then 2 Icarus attack, because it's all the Raidraptors are winged beast type, so Icarus attack definitely works well. That's why Raidraptors are called basically Xyz version of Black Wings. Then more of a staple trap, Solar Warning, combos evocation device, Ring of Destruction, bottomless trap hole, 2-dimensional prison. I would run Mirror Force instead of this, but Raiders also mostly work to counter your opponent's special summons, so I think Dimensional Prison is better in this deck, just to get rid of problematic monsters that have destruction immunity. And finally 2 Phase Chain for monster effect negation. So that was the main deck. Now let's go to the extra deck. Extra deck space is pretty tight in here. You really have to think what are the most important cards. So first, Raidraptor Revolution Falcon, a very powerful Raidraptor Xyz monster. You mostly go into it with Astral Force, but you can also go into it by ranking up twice, but that rarely happens really. So you can detach one Xyz monster from this, and then it can attack all your opponent's monsters. And if this card battles as +1 monster, that the monster's attack and defense becomes 0. And if this card has Raidraptor Xyz monster as action material, you can just destroy one monster your opponent controls, and then inflict half of its attack as damage. Then 2 Raidraptor Blaze Falcon, which is also pretty good. You can just detach one action material to blow up all of your opponents as +1 monsters. And if it has action material, it can attack your opponent directly, and if it inflicts battle damage, you destroy one monster your opponent controls. So it's pretty good, but the only problem with this card is that it has pretty weak attack, so you're not going to do much with this card for that. But of course it's very nice to just destroy your opponent's all monsters that are special summoned. Then 1 Raidraptor Ice Falcon, which is also a very good card. It can attack all special monsters your opponent controls, and you can detach one action material and then target one face-up special monster your opponent controls, and this card gains attack equal to that monster's attack. So it's definitely pretty powerful, but it of course requires 3 level 4 rank beats, but thanks to fuzzy liners, it's pretty easy to summon actually. Then the last Raidraptor Xyz monsters, Raidraptor Force Strix, very essential card for this deck, because you can just detach Xyz material and search for a level 4 Dark Winged Beast from the deck. So like basically a Gigant Cross of the deck. Fortunately it's some sort of a promo in a special pack in OCG, so we have no idea when it actually comes out into the TCG. So which means I have no idea when I actually can play this deck in real life, because this card is very essential for a deck. Just of course for maintaining card advantage and consistency. Then Chaos number 101 Chant Dark, of course, the best Chaos number, a really powerful card. Then of course number 101 Chant Arc. Ice Speed 05 because it's a Wing Beast deck. Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon. Casted the Skywisk Musketeer. Very good of course, and of course it's a Wing Beast as well. So a target for Icarus attack as well. Ilios 1 Extra Knight, of course, just in case, because mostly not going to use this card in this deck, because mostly you have the card advantage, but just in those rare situations this might be necessary. Then 1 Lava Chain to get anything to the graveyard, like Astral Force, Vasilanius or Mimiclanius, and Cowboy for 800 lost damage. So this was my Rank-Up Raidraptor online deck profile. I definitely really love this archetype, and it's just so good as well. And many underrate this deck because they think that it has no power plays, but I think it doesn't need that much power. We do need probably an offensive rank 4 that requires 2 Mateas, because most Red or Rexis monsters have low attack. But aside from that, this deck is almost perfect. It can maintain card advantage very well, and it has very high consistency. It can be a little bit slow at times, but it's not too much of a problem. So, I hope you enjoyed this deck profile. For now, goodbye and Omega Khaos out.